It's the summer of 1975 on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, a place already haunted by violence, about to add another bloody chapter to its history. 2 federal agents would be killed in a shootout, and the man at the center of it, Leonard Peltier, would be convicted of their murders. But the story was far from over. To understand what happened at Pine Ridge, you have to understand what came before it. 2 years earlier, in 1973, the small town of Wounded Knee became the site of a 71-day armed standoff between federal agents and the American Indian Movement, or AIM. The result was a community on edge. Some called it a reign of terror. And in the middle of it all, trying to keep the peace, was the FBI. The FBI's Rapid City office oversaw federal jurisdiction on the reservation. Just 12 agents covered an area the size of Connecticut. By 1975, the workload was overwhelming. So Washington sent reinforcements, 6 temporary duty agents to help, including Special Agent Jack Kohler, a former LAPD officer, and a young investigator, Agent Ronald Williams. Their assignment was straightforward: find and arrest a man named Jimmy Eagle, wanted for robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. But what they didn't know was that other men, armed and angry, had also arrived on the reservation. The night before the murders, June 25, 1975, Agents Kohler and Williams drove through Pine Ridge looking for Jimmy Eagle. They stopped at a property known as the Jumping Bull Compound. No sign of Eagle. But they did find a man named Norman Charles. He told them Eagle had just left, in a red SUV that belonged to Leonard Peltier. At the time, Peltier was already wanted by the FBI, fleeing prosecution for the attempted murder of a police officer in Milwaukee. He was known to carry an AR-15 rifle wherever he went. It's a clear morning, just before noon. Both agents are driving separate vehicles. Agent Williams radios Kohler. He spotted a red SUV and plans to make a stop. A witness nearby later testified that Peltier's Suburban pulled into a field first. Kohler and Williams followed. Then, the shooting began. Leonard Peltier, Norman Charles, Joe Stuntz. All 3 opened fire on the agents. From a nearby tent encampment, additional gunmen, Robert Robideau and Darrell Butler, joined in, catching the 2 agents in a deadly crossfire. Williams' last radio call came moments later. "If you don't get here fast, we're dead men." Those would be his final words. Within 10 minutes, both agents were down. Backup raced toward the sound of gunfire, but they were pinned down by sniper fire. It wasn't until 4:25 p.m. that they were able to break through. Each vehicle had been riddled with bullets, 125 holes in total. Both agents were overwhelmed, firing only 5 rounds combined. Agent Kohler was hit first, his arm nearly severed. Williams tore off his own shirt to use as a tourniquet. Then, as both men lay wounded, someone approached and fired 3 shots at close range, executing the federal agents. A single .223 shell casing was recovered from the scene. It was in the open trunk of Kohler's car. It matched Peltier's AR-15. The agents' guns had been stolen, and Stuntz was found wearing Kohler's FBI jacket after he was shot and killed by a BIA agent later that day. 2 months later, a station wagon exploded on a Kansas turnpike. Inside, charred rifles, ammunition, and explosives. Among them, Agent Kohler's stolen .308 rifle and Peltier's AR-15. His associates, Robert Robideau and Norman Charles, survived the blast. Peltier wasn't with them. By September, he was in Canada, hiding on a reservation near Hinton, Alberta. When the Royal Canadian Mounted Police finally surrounded him, Peltier was heavily armed. He told them, "If I'd known you were coming, I'd have blown you out of your shoes." The government charged 4 men: Leonard Peltier, Robert Robideau, Darrell Butler, and Jimmy Eagle. Eagle's charges were dropped for lack of evidence. Robideau and Butler went to trial first in 1976. They claimed self-defense, believing they were under attack. The jury agreed and acquitted both men. When Peltier's turn came in 1977, things were different. 2 key witnesses identified Peltier as the man who fired at the agents, and the only person carrying an AR-15 that day. The ballistic evidence sealed it. The shell casing from Agent Kohler's trunk matched the AR-15 recovered in Kansas. After a 5-week trial, Leonard Peltier was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. From the moment Leonard Peltier was charged, he made allegations of misconduct and claimed that he didn't receive a fair trial. Peltier first appealed the decision to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals in 1978, unsuccessfully. The Supreme Court declined to review the case the following year. In response, Peltier mounted an armed escape from a federal prison in California, but was quickly recaptured and later convicted on escape and firearms charges. That same year, he filed his first habeas corpus petition. It was denied. He also moved to have the presiding judge removed from the case. That request was denied as well. Throughout the following decade, Peltier filed a series of appeals and motions for a new trial. Each was rejected by both district and appellate courts. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Peltier continued to petition for parole and clemency. He was denied parole in 1993, 1996, and 1998. He petitioned President Clinton for clemency in 2000. No action was taken. A federal judge later denied his motion to reduce his sentence from consecutive to concurrent life terms, citing no new evidence or legal justification. More hearings followed: 2002, 2003, 2009, each reaffirming his conviction and sentence. President Obama declined to act in 2016. In 2022, the Department of Justice rejected another commutation request, and FBI Director Christopher Wray remarked, "Over the last 45 years, no fewer than 22 federal judges have evaluated the evidence and considered Peltier's legal arguments. Each has reached the same conclusion. Peltier's claims are meritless, and his convictions and sentence must stand." That changed in January 2025, when President Biden commuted Leonard Peltier's life sentence, allowing him to serve the remainder of his term under home confinement. Peltier was among nearly 2,500 individuals granted commutations in the closing days of Biden's presidency. In the aftermath, reports emerged alleging that White House aides may have used an Autopen to authorize some, or all, of the final presidential signatures. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.